Recording. Alright, I got the final boss here. Garland. Do you remember me? I was once the most renowned knight of Cornelia. I do. I beat you in the beginning of the game. You weren't hard. 2,000 years from now, you killed me. I am Garland. Yes, that's right. Oh, you did defeat me then. But the four great forces saved me by sending me back through time. Once here, I sent the four fiends into the future, where they shall once again use the four great forces to send me into the past. In 2,000 years, I will remember none of this. Right, here we go. It's the final boss. I did not get to save, but I will be reborn again here. So even as you die again and again, I shall return. Born again into this endless cycle that I have created. Alright, let's do this. I do like the map. I did not heal. It's probably not great. In fact, I'm gonna elixir myself because I have the items. And, well, it looks like I'm gonna need it. This should give me, yeah, all my stuff back. Hialaga? Alright. Let's see what you got. Scourge, right? Instant death? Let's hit it with Blizzaga. Brit? Nice. Cyclone, huh? Oh. Well, Squall's dead. That's not a good start. Well, that's not a good start. That was probably a mistake. We should definitely heal Aga first. Man, he gets to go first. Is this guy just gonna wreck me? Okay, that didn't do a lot of damage. And I get the Phoenix down before I heal. That was why I didn't want to cure Aga. Okay. Let's do another heal Aga. Let's hit him with the... He gets to go first. Can I slow this guy down? Because... Poor Squall, man. Poor Squall. He just can't, the guy just can't stay alive. I really want to heal Aga the guy. I mean, cure Aja. I'm gonna risk it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Please Phoenix down before the heal comes in. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, now he's full. Now I can attack with him. And I can heal Aga. In fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and elixir the white mage because... Please don't die, Titus. Nice. Nice, nice. Alright, it was a little bit of a struggle early on, but it seems like we are recovering. Hit him with a Frogus. Tsunami, that doesn't sound good. Please don't kill Titus. Did not kill Titus, we are good. So he goes first and hits me with an AoE spell. So this is definitely the scariest boss in the game. So I do give him credit for that. I like when they make the final boss the scariest. Nice, she gets to go first. That's good. Cyclone, huh? Well, they're all full, so they should be fine. So I cast a Proterra. It does nothing, because he just does elemental spells. And it's just like Healaga all day. You know what? We're just going to have him do a high potion on who's a little bit low himself. He's probably going to take some damage. No, should have done it on a warrior. Whatever. Crits are good. Double crits, even greater. I want to cast Holy, but I don't want to cast Holy. And I got a Dry Ether, right? So we'll just Dry Ether this girl. Slowra, yes, missed. Oh, that what a wasted turn. Alright, I think we got this. He came out swinging, but... Oh, man. Came out swinging, but now he's kind of slowed down, and I've stabilized. When Squall died, I was a little scared. Like, oh my god, is this guy just gonna wipe me? No, we good. We good, yo. I had Dry Ethers. Ethers are great. It's great having 9 of them, but there's a little bit of an instance. Oh, he's the one who doesn't have Protect. Great. Because he died. And in this fight, the warriors do more damage than the mages. In boss fights, it's usually the other way around, but in this fight, it is not. Mage just does not hit that hard. And he hits me with all the different elements. Man, that Masamune really hits like a truck. It crits a lot, too. Boom. I forgot how Cyclone. Alright. Cyclone definitely hits the hardest. But I believe I got another Dry Ether. But I mean, if I gotta feed like a single Ether to the mage and cast Healar or whatever every turn, I can do that. Healaga. I got 4 Healagas. And Firaga does the least. So definitely hit it with as many Blizzagas as you can. Guy's got a lot of HP. Okay. Where am I? Am I really full? I am full. Flare. That's the one that kills you. 300. Jeez. If he does 2 flares in a row, that could be a problem. Three Healagas left. Why risk it? He's not doing a lot of damage. Do I have a Dry Ether? I do. Let's feed her a Dry Ether. Why even risk it for 150 damages when the warriors are doing 300 plus with their crits? Why even bother? Now I got 7. Do I spam one? I mean, how much HP can he really have left? Maybe it was a fool move. I don't have any more Dry Ethers. Maybe he's out of spells. Usually he hits me. I'm casting. Is he out of MP? Am I just going to sit here and whack this guy down? Oh, God. I guess. No. Why? Why am I risking this? Buddy. That was could be a problem. Well, at least he'll be healed. Okay. No, we're doing items again. Might as well use the X potion. I got it. Don't really need it, but whatever. Make sure she lives. Screw it. Man. This guy's got a lot of HP. That's for sure. And I am full. Do I risk the holy? We're gonna risk it. We'll just cast a random high potion on her. I knew it. That's why we did the high potion. It's like he doesn't go first, and he just trolls you into thinking it's almost over, and then he goes first. But we'll see what holy does. Not bad. Better than what the black mage was doing. And I will say, it is funny how he's only physically hit. I'm going to do it to myself. He's only physically hit the one guy that doesn't have Protect on. Which I think is funny. I got one more elixir. So I can elixir the white mage and get all of her heal spells back. So I can spam this game even longer. I must say, oh my god. Well, he lived. He had Protect on too. That was crazy. I'm just gonna go ahead and cast. Do I not have another X potion? I don't. So we'll just go high potion on himself. Oh, that's death. Yeah. And they're all full, so it does absolutely nothing good. Well, sorry, buddy. 7? We'll do it this way. And then Cyclone. Well, it's better than before Phoenix Down. So you're telling me there's a chance. I mean, honestly, oh, how? There we go. Oh my god. 290 is the number? He lives. He lives. Double crit? I mean, how much HP does this boss have? I will say, he is the toughest boss in the game. So I can't really complain too much. It's what you want from a final boss. I'm gonna high potion myself because he just, no, high potion her. Should have high potioned him. 49. I'm out of heal Agas. That's not good. That's not good at all. I'll do a heal Lara. We're gonna just elixir, because I have the elixir. She'll get all of her stuff back. So I thought the dry ether, 2 dry ethers would be enough to get through this fight in terms of heals, but just not. Alright, we seem pretty stable. We seem pretty stable. We can probably go with just one Healara. Does to save? I don't know why I'm trying to save resources now. He's got to be dead soon, right? Right? Double crit. Still alive. So we are in a situation where if he gets hits, he's gone. I'm casting it. Whatever, dude. No. It's the same, so just do it. And just double heal him. Oh no, 319. Please don't do more than 319. Nice, he's still alive. Good thing I high potioned him on top of the spell. I'll keep him alive a lot longer. Okay, so still doing good. I think I just want to keep high potioning with Vivi. He just doesn't do it. Oh, he's going to be hasted now. I can dispel him. Now we're topped off. Does haste even really matter? Whatever, dude. Psi potion somebody. Should have X potioned somebody. But that one doesn't do as much damage. Double haste on himself, huh? That doesn't seem very bright. Got nothing out of that. What is going on, dude? What do I do here? Why is he still alive? Die already. Alright. Okay. 644? Holy cow, dude! That ain't good, bro. I mean, I high potioned him, but that's not enough. Do I still have that X potion? Cast haste on yourself all you want, bro. I must say, this has like been a 15-minute fight. They're definitely giving me a final boss here. Do I have an X potion? No? No? Random high potion it is then. Okay. That wasn't so bad. 7 damage. Alright, I'm starting to sweat a bit. I am out of dry ethers, elixirs. We'll ether her, just give us a turn. And of course these tsunamis. Dude, come on, how much life does this guy have? Oh, that's it. Got him. We got him. Here's the ending. Just let it be what it is. The time loop was severed at last. The endless struggle that raged over 2,000 years had ended, and peace prevailed once more. The light of the four crystals restored the forces of wind, water, earth, and fire. It was a mere trick of fate that had given rise to the chain of Garland's wrath. But magnified by the four forces meant to guide our world, that trick of fate also gave birth to the fiends. Monsters had run rampant as the world sank into darkness. But all that is now past. With the four forces flowing as they were meant, the warriors prepared to cross time and return to the world they knew, a world where Princess Sarah, Queen Jane, and even Garland himself await. When was this fateful day that sent time spiraling into a loop? None can say. It seemed the cycle into which time had fallen would last forever, but the bravery of four young travelers changed that. They took the forces that filled the world with darkness and used them to bathe the world in light. Definitely scrolls slow, huh? I guess kids couldn't read back in the day either. None will ever recall the struggle the four endured, for the breaking of the chain means that it never existed. But within the tales of fantasy that people tell, the memory of their deeds live on. Tales of dwarves and elves, of dragons and shining civilizations that reached for the heavens even as they fell. And now their return is upon us. With the memory of their struggle buried deep in their hearts, they will quietly watch over our world. Remember always that the forces of the world must be used as they were intended, that the power of light must never be used for dark, and that the true crystals reside in your heart. For you are the warrior who crossed time. You are the bringer of light. Very nice. Well, I guess that's Final Fantasy 1. It took me about 11 hours to beat this game. I guess once the credits roll, we'll get into like a real review of the game. Wasn't really, I mean, I guess it was 1987. You can't expect a great ending. They just kind of scrolled some text at you with a little nice scenery there. You got lakes and forests and stuff, but, you know, it's a Nintendo game. Do we get credits? I guess that's the question, or is it just going to take me... To the fans across the globe, both past and present, and to the crew who brought the originals to life, we offer our profound and heartfelt thanks. Me too, dude. So they are gonna... Oh, do we get something here? Okay, no, here are the credits. So, a review of this game. It took about 11 hours to beat. It's not very long. And that was me sitting around for an hour, farting around, doing whatever. So really 10 hours. I did use a guide, but I didn't use a guide for everything. There were not a lot of side quests. There were a few side things to do. And I reiterated it through a lot of my episodes where, in terms of game difficulty, it started off actually kind of tough. It was a little bit surprising how tough it was in terms of just resource management. Like in the beginning, it's struggling. You're struggling. You just run out of items and you're going through these dungeons and you're trying to find what to do and where to go. Again, I used a guide just for like world map stuff, just so I didn't have to search around the whole world for stuff. But not for dungeons. I tried to get through those as best as I could on my own. And man, if you couldn't exactly find like a door or something, you were running around doing random encounters, you didn't have a lot of MP to cast your spells, and you didn't have a lot of items to keep yourself going. So the first few dungeons, there was a wipe in there. It was a struggle, especially I remember I had 5 antidotes, and it was a dungeon where they like to poison me a lot. And I ran out of antidotes. And man, was the poison just punishing. It just takes the guy down to 1. It sits there and makes the noise at you while you're walking around on the screen. And but then, as you went through a few dungeons and your characters leveled up, and you got, mainly money was the big one, and you could buy the spells and the items that helped you avoid those situations. The game got almost easier and easier and easier. It kind of like got too easy towards the end of the part where you were defeating the crystal bosses. But then at the end there, Garland was a tough final boss. He was not a pushover. It took a while. And even the crystal bosses that you had to refight were a little bit tougher. So in terms of like difficulty, I wouldn't say it was super easy. It was not. It wasn't extremely difficult. And I think in the Pixel Remaster, they give you the option to turn encounters off. And I think it would have been a much harder game if I didn't have that. I chickened out, and I used it a couple times, particularly early. And then I used it quite a bit late. I got tired of the random encounters. They got so easy, and you were just spamming them, and they weren't giving you much XP, and you didn't even need the guild. That I was just like, why am I doing this? So you turn them off. It made the game go faster, so it probably would have added another hour or 2 of gameplay of just fighting random encounters if you didn't have that. And in terms of graphics, I mean, the Pixel Remaster made this game playable in 2025, which is when I'm playing it. It was not bad. It looked cool. The colors were great. Was it up to par with newer games? No, not at all. I don't expect much, but watch some gameplay of the Pixel Remaster and then watch some gameplay of the original, and you're just probably going to be like me, and you're going to tell yourself, like, why would I bother playing the original? I mean, I want it to be as authentic as possible, but my lord, sometimes just pick-me-ups are great. So if you are going to play this game, I do recommend just getting yourself the Pixel Remaster. You can get it right off Steam. Don't bother trying to find the original unless you're just so into just having it be as original and authentic as possible, in which case have at it. But we're talking like boxes and blocks and dark colors, and wasn't really my style. I'm just trying to play through these games and get an experience with them, and that's what this was, and it was great. And it had all the basic Final Fantasy stuff. Sid got mentioned. He was in there. You got some of the summons. Bahamut was there. He didn't fight him, which was a little bit of a disappointment, but he was still the king of the dragons. He upgraded your classes. I still don't understand what the upgraded classes did. You do this side quest. You get your classes upgraded. Your warriors turn to knights. And they look different. But I don't know what I got access to different spells with my mages, but other than that, did they really perform differently? I don't know. And I went with 2 warriors and a white mage and a black mage. There was also a red mage, a thief, and monk. And I did not use any of those. And I will not be playing through this game again to use them. I just wanted to play through the original in the series and just kind of see what it was like. Totally worth a one-time playthrough. Did not take too long to beat. Was pretty fun to play, especially if you like the turn-based combat like I do. The live-action stuff that they're kind of moving towards in the later Final Fantasies, like 15 and 16, I am not a huge fan of. I like the turn-based style the best. And in terms of combat, I mean, combat was extremely turn-based. It wasn't like 10 or like 12, where if your character's really fast, you might be able to get multiple attacks in before the enemy gets one. It's literally one turn, one round, everybody gets a turn. If you're super fast, then that just means you go first. Status effects didn't really do much, and most of the fights were so short, except for that the very last few bosses there, that is just like, why would I blind or poison or do anything to the enemy other than just try to burn them down as fast as possible? It didn't really make any sense. And I think there was a town in there that didn't have an item shop, and I don't know what that was about. That pissed me off. We had elves and dwarves. They were in there. You got your boat. You got your canoe. You had your elements in there. I mean, it was... Vivi, the mage, when you first get the black mage in the beginning of the game, looked exactly like Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, which I thought was awesome. I didn't like how they made you name your characters. I like when they give you a name and you roll with it, and those are your characters. I'm not really a fan of renaming them. I did it as a kid. I sometimes do it as an adult because I've played a certain game a number of times that'll do it, but a first time through, I like when they give me a name and I get kind of sentimental with who it is, and I can talk with other people about, oh yeah, that character, blah, 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 blah. You name your characters. That was a whatever, no big deal. I was a little bit disappointed that the Excalibur wasn't as good as the Masamune. You find the Masamune at the end, and it's just better than the Excalibur. And Masamune's great. It's Sephiroth's sword, but I don't know. It's Excalibur. Come on. Let's go here. And also, the mage versus warrior difference. I went double warrior because I just heard warriors were just super OP. And they were. There were a few bosses where the black mage just really shined and did a lot of damage relative to your warriors, but they still took extra damage because they didn't have the high defenses. And then once the warriors got those great items and they started critting on their attacks a lot, they did more damage than the elemental attacks. Like on the final boss, my black mage became a backup healer using the items that I had purchased with the excess gil, which is a little bit disappointing. Like, can you just go in this game and probably take 3 warriors and a red mage? Because you don't even really need the white mage? Probably. There would be just a couple boss fights where the black mage was doing a lot of damage and the warriors were not. But again, they took a lot less damage, so yeah, the fights would take a little bit longer. Those boss fights on random encounters, it's like, I guess you could say that there were a few random encounters that had like 9 enemies, which you probably could just flee anyway, where the black mage is awesome because you could just use an Aga spell and just take them all down with one spell. There were a few of those. But all in all, I do feel like the warrior was just super overpowered. Is that a problem in a lot of games? Yeah, but I just felt like the bonuses of the mages just weren't quite there. I did like the white mage. Having a dedicated healer is cool. So, I don't know. I guess that's just nitpicking. The black mage was still alright. I still got through the game. What else? The enemy, I mean, Garland was there in the beginning, and then he just kind of shows up at the end. They're like, hey, you gotta kill this guy. There was really not a lot of build-up. But again, it's 1987. It was an 11-hour game. They didn't really have a lot of time to build up to the final boss and make him some legendary enemy, so I can't really blame them. So a lot of the shortfalls of this game, you can just kind of blame on the age of it. I mean, 1987, for what it was when it came out, it was actually quite awesome. It was an adventure. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Ranking it up to other games in the Final Fantasy series will be difficult. Maybe I'll have to rank it up to like Final Fantasy 2 and 3, because let's say you were to compare this to Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, or so on and so forth. It's just... How do you do that? It's just too old. It just didn't have the tools available to make it even comparable. So it's like a lot of people will make rankings lists. Ranking my top Final Fantasy, it's like, well, This is clearly going to be not as cool as some of the later titles. They just didn't have the tools available. So that's what I would have to say. That's my review of this game. I do think it's a great playthrough for Final Fantasy fanatics, Final Fantasy people. You definitely, being able to say you played through it once is cool. You do want to do that. But is it something you can spam a lot? Not unless you're going to do like speed runs. If you're going to do speed runs, okay. And that's the end. That's my review of Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. Fun game, good time. Super awesome? No, but it's just old, so it can't. In 2025, it's just not going to be something you get hooked on. Something you play through once for the experience. In the end. The end. Just let it sit for a second. I mean, I'm used to games. I hope these guys make a sequel too. I am used to like final like cutscenes at the end. You get to the end and then you get another cutscene. But 1987, I don't think we're getting another cutscene. I'd like one, but I think it's just going to keep me on the end for like 10 minutes here or until I shut it off. Will it? I guess we'll just sit here and wait for a minute. Come on, if I press something, will it end? It did. I pressed something and it ended. Data saves, progress up to the final boss. Yes. Okay. Well. That's it.